Hello IP4, this is our second video lesson. So you should have already watched the first lesson where we recapped capitalization and end marks, and in this lesson we're going to talk about commas. But before we go on to our lesson, I would like to check the last lesson's homework with you. Okay, so on the e-learning platform, you should have this file. It says IP4 IPE exercise answer key for 105, which is our last lesson, capitalization and end marks. So, please open this file and it will have the answer key. And it will show you what you needed to correct for that worksheet I told you to do as homework in the last lesson. So number one, would you like to watch a movie? You should have a capital W at the start and a question mark at the end. Number two, that sounds great. You should have capital T at the beginning and an exclamation point at the end. Sounds great is a strong feeling. Number three, what should we watch? You want capital W and a question mark. Number four, how about Detective Pikachu? So you need capital letter H at the beginning, capital D and capital P for the name of the movie, Detective Pikachu, and a question mark at the end. Number five, who is in that movie? Capital W at the start, question mark at the end. Number six, Ryan Reynolds is the voice of Pikachu. You need capital R for Ryan, capital R for Reynolds, capital P for the name Pikachu, and a period, a full stop at the end. Number seven, I would prefer to watch Sonic the Hedgehog. You've got capital I at the beginning, capital S for Sonic, capital H for Hedgehog. Do not capitalize T for the, and a full stop at the end. Number eight is a run-on sentence. You need capital T for that, an exclamation point after idea, capital J and C for the name Jim Carrey, and an exclamation point at the end. So for each of these questions, give yourselves a score out of the number that it says, and then your total score should be out of 25. I would hope that everyone would get over 20 for that, and to pass, you need to score at least 18. Okay, now we are going to move on to our second lesson. So the first lesson was a recap of what we did in class, but now we're moving on to stuff that we've not done in class. So this lesson is about using commas in a series. So this is something that you've probably done in previous years. I remember we did it in IP3. So when we speak, we pause to make what we are saying more clear. A comma, which is this symbol, shows a pause in a sentence when we are writing. Now, when you list three or more things in a sentence, that is called a series. And we use commas to separate the things in a series and the word and or before the last thing in a series. So, I would not say, I went to the shop to buy crisps, cola and bread. You cannot just say it in one big go. You would pause between each item in the series. So, I went to the shop to buy crisps, cola, and bread. You pause after each thing in that list. Sometimes the things in a series might be more than one word, and there can also be more than three things in a series. So here we've got an example. I want to go to the beach so that I can swim in the sea, build a sandcastle, eat an ice cream and sunbathe. Doesn't sound right, does it? But if we put a pause between each activity in that series, it makes it easier to understand. So, I want to go to the beach so that I can swim in the sea, build a sandcastle, eat an ice cream, and sunbathe. So you can see that these things in the series have more than one word, and that we've got 4 things in this series. Okay, now I would like you to open your textbook to page 176. So if you don't have your textbook ready, please go and get it. Look at questions 1 to 7. So we have in questions 1 to 7 some things in a series, and you need to add commas to that series. So look at number 1. Gold is found in California, Idaho, and Georgia. You need to add commas to this sentence to correct it. If you do not have your textbook, you will need to pause the video, you will need to find some paper, and you will need to copy these sentences onto paper with the commas. Okay, I want you now to pause the video. Pause the video and do those questions. When you have finished answering those questions, you can then start the video again and see the answers. So please pause now. Okay, have you finished those questions? If you finished, carry on watching. So, number 1, gold is found in California, comma, Idaho, comma, and Georgia. Number 2, Tim, comma, Cara, comma, and David are learning to pan for gold. Number 3, Tim watches men, comma, women, comma, and children standing in a stream. Number 4, they scoop, comma, shovel, comma, or toss dirt into a pan. Number 5, then they sift, comma, shake, comma, and slosh the gravel. Number 6, pebbles, comma, sand, comma, and gold are left in the pan. Number 7, panning for gold is muddy, comma, wet, comma, and tiring work. Okay, so check your answers to those textbook questions and give yourselves a score out of 7. I would hope that everyone is able to get 7 out of 7. If you're scoring lower than 5, you need to be more careful. Okay, now turn to the next page in your textbook, page 177, and look at questions 8 to 15. So these questions are very similar to the ones that you've just done. So again, I want you to pause the video, answer those questions, and press play when you have finished up to question 15. Like we did before, if you don't have your textbook, please pause the video and write these sentences down with commas in the correct places. Okay, so if you're ready and you've answered those questions, let's move on to the answers. Number 8, they read, comma, studied, comma, and took notes. Number 9, could anyone get rich with just a shovel, comma, a pen, comma, and a dream? Number 10, farmers, comma, teachers, comma, and shopkeepers hoped so. Number 11, they headed west from Ohio, comma, Virginia, comma, and New York. Number 12, many others came from Asia, comma, Europe, comma, and Australia. Number 13, the students wrote, comma, practiced, comma, and performed a play about the gold rush. Number 14, their friends, comma, family, comma, and teachers watched the play. Number 15, they clapped, comma, cheered, comma, and whistled when it was over. Okay, so please give yourselves a score out of 8 for that section and a total out of 15. I'd hope that everyone gets at least 6 out of 8 for that section and at least 11 out of 15 in total. Okay, that is the end of our lesson. Your homework today is to do workbook page 82. Okay, IP4, before we finish, I'm just going to explain your homework to you. Your homework for this lesson is workbook page 82. Now, I know that this lesson is going out on Friday, and you've actually got 2 lessons today. Please make sure that you finish workbook page 82 before you start the next lesson. At the beginning of the next video lesson, I will explain the answers to the homework. So please don't start the next video until you have finished this workbook page. So this is workbook page 82. And if you do not have your workbook at home, that's okay, because I will send this photograph onto the e-learning platform. So if you don't have your workbook, you can again just do this on paper. So section A, write these 4 sentences again correctly and add commas where they are needed. Section B, read these sentences and there are 8 missing or incorrect end marks. Okay, IP4, that is the end of this lesson. So like I told you, please make sure you finish the workbook page before you start the next lesson. But for now, thank you IP4. Bye bye.